Yeah, so with this, then we can go live from anywhere,
Hmm.
at any time.
Hmm.
So I mean, that's how the whole game has changed.
Yeah.
That's how I mean it's so we've been streaming we did your speech, all of the major speeches for the whole time
Oh wow.
here from the convention.
Okay.
What's up? All right, so we're still recording, so I'll go ahead and let's go. Go to Patrick. First of all, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Feel a little better now that that's that's behind me. I'm a little rusty.
Yeah. So it's been a bit since you've been out and about giving speeches, and so why was it important for you to be here at this convention in San Antonio?
Well, first of all, it was an honor to be asked. I've worked with Brad, who hosted this lunch back when we were both in the Civil Rights Division at the Justice Department. So particularly important to me to be asked by him to come. It's a critical time in the nation, I think, for the interests of the NAACP, frankly, for the interests of all people who are depending on the democracy to be sound, and it feels very much at risk, which is what I tried to talk about today.
When you look at DOJ today, when you look at the decisions they're making, when you hear Attorney General tell police officers we're going to pull back from investigations because it's in essence it's hurting your feelings and hurting your morale. I mean, I thought the DOJ was to protect the citizens, not to make one side feel good.
Well, look, the way our system works, or is supposed to work, is a system of checks and balances, and inherent in that is the notion that the state is supposed to have limits placed on its power. The state is an inherently powerful idea, and one of the roles of the Civil Rights Division within the Justice Department is to assure that state power doesn't overreach when it comes to the rights and privileges of citizens. And so when I hear that kind of thing from the current Attorney General and from other officials, frankly, in the current Justice Department, it's very concerning to me as a former official in the Justice Department. It ought to be concerning to everybody.
When you also look at where we are now, when you look at our politics, in terms of folks talk about how divisive it is, it's not like we haven't seen this before in American history.
We have seen this before in American history, and a lot of it, I think, comes down to broad-based social and economic anxiety. We've crossed this bridge before. Leaders at different times have taken us down different paths. You can use that kind of anxiety to fuel fear and division, or you can use it to fuel the future. Either of those, as I tried to say today, have roots in American tradition. Only one of those paths is patriotic. And what we have not chosen today is that patriotic path, and I think we got to find our way back to a more patriotic path.
Also interesting, as I listen to you talk about the whole patriotic piece, I was talking to Congresswoman Maxine Waters several months ago, and she said we have to use that word as well because she said, ain't nobody been more patriotic than black folks when you love a country that didn't love you back.
That's right. Well, I totally understand that. And I think the other thing that I have seen and heard, and I think it's important for us to acknowledge, is that a whole lot of other people who are not black are feeling some of the ways that black people have felt, which is to say are feeling unseen and unheard, are feeling that their anxiety, their ambitions and aspirations for themselves and their communities have not been acknowledged by government. And just to say, I see you, but I don't see solutions for you is not enough. Because I think black and brown people have felt that experience as well here in America. So yeah, we can do a lot better than we have right now. And I say that not as a Democrat. I say that as an American.
So you in Chicago. I was running the Chicago Defender. You're running for governor, and then we sat down and had a conversation. And obviously, folks. I mean, literally, somebody came up to me. I was watching the Facebook stream as well. People asking, "Oh my goodness, is he going to run? Are you thinking about it, or are you talking about it? Just your thoughts about potentially 2020."
Well, look, I'm not running today. I'm here because
except to catch a plane at 5:30.
Yeah, right. I do. I do have to run soon. I've got a great new business where we're doing impact investing, and I'm focused on that. And I've got a great team and some investors and a team and some companies we've invested in who are depending on us and depending on me to be engaged in that. And I'm trying to be involved in the midterms because I think it's a critical cycle.
Meaning campaigning across the country for different folks.
Yeah, and we've identified a small number of campaigns where I've been invited and where I think I can be helpful, and I can do that consistent with my day job. And that's my focus for now.
Last question. What type of candidate do you believe is needed in 2020 to run against Donald Trump?
Well, first of all, as a Democrat, I'm hoping that the party and that the candidates who are running or who will run will really ask us as Americans to support a more ambitious agenda. I think we need a bigger vision. I think that the country is ready for a bigger vision. Part of it, I hope, will be the democracy agenda I talked about, because I do think we have to repair our democracy and invite and engage and excite people to be more engaged. I think we can repair our economy, not just so that it's growing jobs, but it's really growing careers. And it is growing out to the marginalized and the left behind, and not just up to the well-connected. I think we need a healthcare system that really is truly accessible and affordable to everybody. We've made some big steps under President Obama. There's so much more we can do. And the current administration seems to be taking us backward. And I think we can have a much more constructive way of being a presence in the world than we have right now.
Well, always good seeing you. Appreciate the speech. Thank you so very much. So right now I'm going to hand you off to my man Mark Thompson with Sirius XM Radio. So we'll chat soon.
All right, I hope so. Thank you.
So Mark, slide on over. We're going to do a little transfer here. Come on, there you go. All right. I got you. We'll give you some light, too. Y'all both light-skinned, but we'll give you some light, too.
So speaking of civil rights, we were there at the Department of Justice. The announcement was made that they're reopening the case. As I was sitting and listening, there are career civil servants in the civil rights division continue to do their job despite of but maybe you can help me discern whether or not it is sincerely and organically vision-making that decision versus the Trump administration doing like what it did, like let's say with that Johnson. We're just going to do something we're doing. What is do you have an understanding of whether what
Mark,
the nature of this is?
Mark, I honestly, I cannot tell.
Yeah.
I understand the tone of skepticism that you're questioning.
Yeah.
And I understand where that comes from. It's impossible for me to know. I'm not checking, back channels through my pals who are still there. A lot of the folks I work with have left, and some who have left in sadness because they have felt that the current administration wasn't serious. I will say that the beautiful thing I found when I got there is what you alluded to in your question, which is that the career people had stuck to it and kept at it to administrations that in some cases were not interested in the business of civil rights and had kept at the work of enforcing the laws that were on the books. And so how refreshing it felt to them when we were there and working in an administration that actually cared about something like that was beautiful.
Is it also troubling to you that when you talk about some of this in your speech, just the warring decision, we may very well be on the precipice of the House Republicans impeaching the acting Attorney General right now? You ever think he would see something like that in this day and age?
Well, I think the critical thing is that our institutions, our democratic institutions, have been in jeopardy before, and it has depended on patriots to see their patriotism and act on that patriotism to save those institutions. And what has been particularly worrisome to me is that there's more than one moment in the last 2 years when some of our friends in the Congress have not acted, have not seen the differences, and have not displayed that patriotism. So, when I hear some of that chatter at the time that you that concerns me. It ought to concern us. I think it's what I was trying to get at today in my speech is it needs to really worry us all, and we need to hold to account at election time.
Yeah.
Those reps and senators who don't demonstrate patriotism at times like this, and who are by their actions and their words effectively undermining our democratic system.